Here with Dianna Russini, reporter for The Athletic at Broncos Training Camp. You picked a really good time to come because the pads were on, intensity was up. What were your key takeaways from today?
Well, first of all, this was the first camp I've been to this summer, and I picked the Broncos on purpose because I actually have a lot of questions about them. I'm optimistic, but I wanted to see it up close. So much talk about what this defense looks like, and it was the first day in pads, so you really got to see a little bit more than what we normally would see, obviously, when they're just out there in their shorts. So, look, I think the defense is the headline here. But I love the fact that Bo Nix, he not only is behaving different in the huddle, he physically looks different to me. And that just goes to show you, I think the confidence that he has, understanding this offense, obviously going to year two, getting some help from Drew Brees in the offseason, and doing a good job of learning and understanding what the expectations are at the quarterback position.
How do you see this offense taking that next step, especially with the new additions they added in the run game?
Yeah, the run game, I think, is where they need to improve in order for them to take that next step and go further in the playoffs. Obviously, I think the growth of Bo Nix and his comprehension of what's expected of him and him understanding what head coach Sean Payton is looking for him. But just based on my conversations even with Bo, it sounds like he's going to be that quarterback that takes a step forward in the sophomore year. We know about the sophomore slump, unfortunately, that we've seen around the NFL for years. But preparation is such an important part of the game, and it sounds like he's done his work. And getting Cortland Sutton signed up and having some weapons with Evan Ingram joining now, I think this is going to be a Denver Broncos team that takes a step forward from what we saw last year.
This offense should be exciting to watch, but this defense is another key component, especially with the reigning Defensive Player of the Year. What have you seen from them?
Starts with Patrick Surtain and just coming off the season he had and him understanding and actually being really comfortable with the fact that he has the most pressure on him every week. His job is to shut down the number one receiver of the opponent, and he doesn't take that responsibility lightly, but he also understands it, and he does a good job because we've seen teams scheming against it, right, trying to avoid Patrick Surtain in order to get their offense moving. So I think the fact that this front five, that to me, that is where this defense starts, and they are scary, and they did such a good job in this offseason building it up. I think Greenlaw is going to be a really good key addition, and really probably one of those under the radar signings from the offseason that we're going to be talking about come December.
A lot of key signings, a lot of talk about the culture change that's happened here in Denver. What can you say about the vision that Sean Payton has really put together?
It's clear, and it's probably one of my favorite parts about this Denver Broncos team. There's no confusion about who they are, what they are. They have fun. They like each other. Patrick Surtain even said, don't you just like the vibes here? I'm like, I love the vibes here because everyone's just on the same page, and I really think that's what makes Sean Payton such a great head coach. And we call him coach, but to me, he's a teacher. And when you watch him on the sidelines, it is like watching a teacher explaining something to a student with the patience and his understanding of his team and knowing exactly how to keep his finger on the pulse of his squad, which is why he gets so much respect and such great results.
Well, it should be a very exciting season. As always, we appreciate you taking the time.
This is awesome. Let's go.